Welcome back to Return My Capital. Today we're going to do a fun little video, won't take too long, on companies that have returned 10,000% plus since 2000. So these would be called a 100 bagger. You may have heard reference before to a company or a stock that's a 10 bagger, which would turn $100 invested into 1,000 or 1,000 into 10,000. Well, these are companies that have turned over the last 25 years $1,000 investment into a $100,000 investment. It's a relatively short list. The pool of companies that these were drawn from is the Russell 1000. So say the S&P 500 plus an additional 100 largest companies would make up your Russell 1000. So just going to go through this list real quick, have some fun with it. So the top returning stocks since, what would this be? Let's say April 1st or March of 2000, past 25 years, you've got Monster Beverage, ticker MNST, 57 billion market cap company. They have returned 127,477%, which would mean $1,000 investment 25 years ago is now worth over $1.25 million. You know, if you've never heard of Monster, I'm sure you have. They're the extreme energy drink company with the little claw mark on the cans. So that's your top returning investment possible over the last 25 years in the Russell 1000. Next up, we've got NVIDIA. Certainly by now you've heard of NVIDIA, and then NVDA is the ticker symbol. $2.65 trillion market cap now, even after the pullback over the past month. And you're looking at a 66,000% return there, which would turn $1,000 into $661,000. And, you know, if you're not familiar, they make GPUs, AI technology, some software there, but primarily a semiconductor manufacturer or designer, I should say. Third, we've got Texas Pacific Land. TPL is the ticker, 30.5 billion market cap, 62.5% returner, $626,000 return on an initial $1,000 investment. And they're entirely involved with the Texas oil fields and land for those oil derricks. You've got Deckers Outdoor, ticker DEC, and a 17 billion market cap now. So one of the smaller sized companies on this list. You know, you'll see as you look through here, and none of these are small companies, certainly, but, you know, for reference, I think the smallest company in the S&P 500 has about a $7 billion market cap. Most are significantly larger than that, of course, but, you know, keep that in mind as you're looking at these market caps. So, you know, you'll see Apple on there. I've already talked about NVIDIA. So those are some of your mega cap stocks, obviously mega cap companies. But the rest of these are certainly not what you would consider a mega cap. That being said, Deckers Outdoor, DEC is the ticker symbol. They own UGG and Hoka. Teva, I haven't heard of Teva footwear. Certainly you've heard of Uggs, and I've worn Hoka as well for a nice running shoe. But they have returned almost 53,000% over the last 25 years, turning a $1,000 investment into over $530,000. You've got Old Dominion Freight, ODFL is the ticker symbol. You may have seen their semi-trucks driving around on the roads. It's just a freight trucking and shipping company. $35 billion market cap now. Let's say just over a 30,000% return since 2000. So $1,000 into $305,000. You've got Tractor Supply, TSCO, almost a 30 billion market cap, a 26,000% return over the last 25 years. So $1,000 into 261K. And if you've never been to a Tractor Supply, I live in somewhat of a rural area. So certainly I've got some livestock, but outdoor supplies, chicken feed, horse feed products, drinking troughs, all sorts of stuff. If you live in a city, probably not super relevant to you. You've got Apple, if you've ever heard of Apple, AAPL on the ticker. I don't know if it's just me, but when it comes to the ticker symbol on Apple, for whatever reason, I always think that Apple's ticker symbol is APPL. And so whenever I see AAPL, I always think it's something different. I don't know why, but yeah, just throwing that out there. Market cap is still just an astounding 3.35 trillion. I couldn't believe that it was still that much above a 3 trillion market cap as the NASDAQ has pulled back recently, but almost a 21,000% return over the last 25 years, which is unbelievable. So $1,000 into say $210,000, and it's Apple, so we're not going to talk about what they do. So we've got O'Reilly Automotive, ORLY. That's the company, if you've ever seen or heard their commercials on TV or radio, it's the O'Reilly. So auto parts and maintenance tools and supplies. 82 billion market cap on O'Reilly Automotive. I was a little surprised to see how large that company is. 16,000% returner, so 1,000 into 164,000, almost 165,000. You've got Middleby. I haven't heard of this one before I saw this. Ticker symbol is MID, MIDD. Only an 8 billion. I say that like it's a micro cap, but $8 billion market cap. 16,000% returner, so 1,000 into 160,000, and they make commercial, so think your house, your apartment, and residential. Actually, commercial would be your office building, and residential kitchen equipment, so faucets and fixtures, all that stuff. We've got Southern Copper, SCCO is the ticker symbol, almost a $75 billion market cap, so pretty substantial copper mining and other precious metals, but mining and processing, and 15,746% return. So $1 into $1,000 into $158,000. You've got Fair Isaac, more commonly known by their ticker symbol, FICO, your FICO score, your credit score. And past 25 years, 15,000 and a half, so 15,576% return, $1 into $156,000. So certainly they do the credit scores for consumers. They also get involved on credit rating for businesses, analytics software. So it's been just a massive performer, and kind of depressing, honestly, that their stock has performed so well, even considering that the 2008, or I guess 07 to 09 financial crisis occurs in that 25-year time span. But just debt is such a massive part of everyday life and business operations in America today that, it stands to reason that a company like FICO would do so well. So 45 billion market cap on that now. You've got DaVita, another kind of depressing company, but an important and sustainable business model right now, unfortunately. DaVita's ticker symbol is DVA, 12 billion market cap. They do dialysis treatment centers. So if you have kidney dialysis, if you're a diabetic, type 1 or type 2, people use their facilities and their treatment for, to stay alive, get dialysis, clean their blood. So 14,715%, 1,000 into 148,000. You've got AutoZone, pretty similar to O'Reilly, auto parts and accessories. AZO is the ticker symbol, 64 billion market cap, 14,000% return, 1,000 to 141,000. So kind of cool to see both O'Reilly Automotive and AutoZone. You've got Clean Harbors, another one that I'm not familiar with, but CLH is the ticker symbol, just 10.5 billion market cap, almost a 14,000% returner, so 1,000 into 138,000, and apparently they're involved in hazardous waste disposal and environmental services. So not a company that you would interact with very commonly anyways, not consumer facing maybe. But obviously it's done okay over the last 25 years. NVR, ticker NVR, they are a home builder and mortgage financing, mortgage banking company, 21.5 billion, 13,000% returner, 1,000 into 133,000. You've got ANSYS, ticker ANSS. Not familiar with them. I'm not an engineer, so they are involved in engineering simulation and modeling software. I don't know if it's similar to a CAD, but a $28 billion market cap company, 12,629% returner over the last 25 years. So obviously they're doing something right over there. You've got HEICO, ticker HEI, 32.5 billion market cap, 11,549% returner. So $1,000 over the last 25 years has turned into 116,000, and they are involved with aerospace, defense manufacturer, defense technology. Two more, we've got Cheniere Energy. LNG is the ticker symbol. If you're at all familiar with the space, the ticker symbol will kind of give away what they do. They are involved in the exportation of liquefied natural gas, so exporting, distribution, pipelines of natural gas. $52 billion company, 11,300% returner, so $1,000 turned into $113,000. And last up, we've got Watsco, ticker WSO, 19 billion market cap, just over 10,000% return, just made the cut, $1,000 into $101,000. And they are involved with HVAC equipment and refrigeration products. So that's just a fun little list. Obviously, you can't predict this type of stuff, especially with something like Monster Beverage, 127,000% return, just unbelievable. Just something cool to kind of call out here is that, with the names covered, the companies covered, you see, it's not always the shiny penny company, the new hot idea, the new high tech type company. And, it can be a fairly simple, straightforward business that just with, phenomenal product market fit and execution, it can do unbelievably well. Let's say something like an O'Reilly Automotive, DaVita, AutoZone. And then, industries that you don't even think of, like hazardous waste removal or HVAC equipment. It's pretty neat to see the kind of returns that some of these companies have been able to provide to shareholders. Obviously, the hard part is hanging on to a company after you've seen it perform 500% in a couple of years or 1,000% in a couple of years. Good luck holding on to that and letting it ride. That's the hardest part, right? It's easy to buy. It's hard to know when to sell. But just wanted to put together a fun little list here for you, and hope you enjoyed watching. Just a little entertainment value. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and take care. Speak soon. Bye-bye.